The neon lights of the city pulsed in rhythmic harmony with the pounding music inside the galactic dive, a place where humans and off-worlders mingled freely. Jack leaned against the counter, nursing a drink while his friends huddled in a suspiciously conspiratorial circle. Tonight was his 25th birthday, and his friends had insisted on celebrating in style. He had no idea what they were planning, but with the way they were glancing his way, he figured it wouldn't be long before he found out. "All right, Jack," his best friend, Cole, finally said, stepping forward with an exaggerated flourish. "We know you're not big on gifts, but this one, well, let's just say we went all out." Jack raised an eyebrow. "Should I be worried?" Cole smirked. "Not at all. Just open your mind a little." The group parted, revealing a figure standing behind them. Jack blinked in surprise. The girl in front of him was stunning in an otherworldly way, luminous blue skin, silver hair cascading over her shoulders, and eyes like twin galaxies. She wore a sleek black jumpsuit with intricate silver embroidery, a stark contrast to her delicate features. "Happy birthday, Jack," she said in a voice that carried a soft, musical quality. Jack's mouth went dry. Hi? This," Cole said proudly, "is the birthday present. Her name's Solari. Enjoy?" Jack's gaze darted between his friends and the alien girl, his confusion mounting. "What do you mean, enjoy?" Cole chuckled. "She's yours for the night. Don't worry, it's all legal. Just have fun." Jack felt a pit form in his stomach. "She's not some kind of—" "I am not a courtesan," Solari interrupted, her voice sharp. "I was simply in need of immediate escape, and your friends provided it." Jack's eyes narrowed. "Escape?" Solari's fingers twitched, her gaze flickering toward the entrance. "I can't stay here. We need to leave. Now!" Jack turned to Cole. "Where did you find her?" Cole scratched his head. "Bought her from some shady dealer out in the outer rings. He said she was looking for a way off-world. Thought it would be an unforgettable birthday surprise." Jack felt anger bubbling beneath his skin. "You didn't think to question any of this?" Before Cole could respond, the door to the bar burst open. A group of armored enforcers stormed inside, scanning the crowd. Solari grabbed Jack's wrist and pulled him toward the back exit. "Move!" she hissed. Jack didn't hesitate. His instincts kicked in, and he followed her through the back alley, his friends shouting in confusion behind him. The enforcers spotted them, their weapons glowing ominously. Jack didn't know who they were, but the intent in their movements was clear. They were after Solari, and they weren't planning to ask nicely. They ran through the maze-like alleys of the city, the sound of pursuit never far behind. Jack barely had time to process the situation. One moment, he was celebrating his birthday. The next, he was on the run with an alien girl who was, apparently, in serious trouble. Finally, they reached a docking bay where a small ship was waiting. Solari slammed her palm against the control panel, and the ramp lowered. Jack hesitated for only a moment before following her inside. The ship's engines roared to life, and they shot into the atmosphere just as the enforcers arrived at the docking bay. The force of acceleration pressed Jack into his seat, his pulse hammering. "Okay," he said after a moment, trying to catch his breath. "I think I deserve some answers now." Solari glanced at him, her expression unreadable. "I am Princess Solari of the Zintherian Empire. I fled my home to escape an arranged marriage that would have condemned my people to tyranny." Jack let that sink in. "So, my friends basically handed me a runaway alien princess for my birthday?" "Essentially," Jack groaned. "And now we're both fugitives?" "Correct." He rubbed his temples. "Happy birthday to me." Solari's lips twitched in what might have been amusement. "I apologize for dragging you into this, but I had no other choice." Jack exhaled heavily, glancing at the starlit expanse beyond the viewport. Well, Princess, looks like we're in this together now. What's the plan? Solari's gaze turned serious. We find allies. We fight back. And we don't stop until my people are free. Jack ran a hand through his hair, already feeling the weight of the adventure ahead. He had just wanted a quiet birthday. Instead, he had gotten an intergalactic war. Somehow, he had a feeling he wouldn't regret it. As the ship hurtled through hyperspace, Jack finally had a moment to take in his surroundings. The cockpit was sleek, filled with holographic displays and an array of alien controls he didn't recognize. Solari moved with practiced ease, adjusting the ship's course. So where exactly are we heading? Jack asked. There's a resistance cell on the moon of Ardentis 9, she replied. They've been fighting against the Empire for years. If we can get there, we might stand a chance. Jack crossed his arms. And what happens if they don't trust a random human? Solari smiled faintly. You saved their princess. That should count for something. Jack exhaled and leaned back in his seat. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Jack leaned back in his seat, the reality of his situation sinking in. Hours ago, he was celebrating his birthday. Now, he was hurtling through space with a fugitive alien princess. Life had taken an unexpected turn. Solari expertly navigated the ship through the stars, her silver hair catching the glow of the control panels. We have a few hours before we reach Ardentis 9. Get some rest while you can. Jack sighed, rubbing his temples. Rest? Right. After getting chased through the city by armored goons and escaping into space, I'm just gonna close my eyes and... The ship suddenly shuddered, alarms blaring. What now? Jack groaned. Solari's fingers danced over the controls. We've got incoming. Imperial interceptors. They must have tracked us. Jack gritted his teeth. Can we outrun them? Not with our current power levels. She flipped a switch, and the ship's lighting dimmed, diverting power to the engines, but they'll catch up fast. We need a plan. Jack glanced at the radar. 3 enemy ships closing in fast. Any weapons on this thing? Limited, Solari admitted. We weren't meant for combat. Jack ran a hand through his hair, then an idea struck him. You said there's a resistance cell on Ardentis 9. Think they monitor comm channels? Solari's eyes widened. Yes, but reaching them could compromise their location. If we don't, we might not make it there at all. Your call, Princess. She hesitated, then nodded. I'll send a distress signal, but we'll still need to buy time. Jack strapped himself in. Then let's give them a chase. Solari sent the transmission, then veered the ship into a nearby asteroid field. The Imperial ships followed, weaving between tumbling rocks. Hold on! Solari warned as she took a sharp dive, narrowly avoiding a massive asteroid. Jack watched the radar. One of the interceptors wasn't so lucky, slamming into a rock and exploding in a fiery burst. 2 left, Jack called. The remaining ships opened fire, bolts of plasma grazing their hull. Solari spun the ship, dodging at breakneck speed. Jack spotted an unusually dense cluster of asteroids ahead. Head straight for that cloud, he suggested. That's insane, Solari said. Then she smirked. I like it. She pushed the throttle forward, plunging into the dense rock field. The interceptors hesitated, and that was all they needed. Moments later, a barrage of laser fire erupted from the edge of the field. Resistance fighters, Solari shouted. A squadron of sleek ships descended, tearing through the Imperial pursuers. Within moments, the battle was over. This is Captain Rilo of the Ardentis Resistance. Identify yourself. Solari leaned forward. This is Princess Solari of the Zentherian Empire. I seek asylum and aid. Silence. Then, follow us. And pray you speak the truth. The fighters escorted them to a hidden base within a crater. As they landed, Jack exhaled. "Well, that was fun." Solaris smiled faintly. "You handled yourself well." Jack chuckled. "Not bad for a birthday surprise, huh?" She held his gaze. "Not bad at all." As they stepped off the ship, Jack knew his quiet life was over. He had stumbled into something much bigger than himself. But somehow, he didn't regret it. A war was coming, and he was ready to fight.